Good morning, good morning. I hope this finds you safe and well. As usual, I suspect we may have a few IT glitches, so I have to ramble for a bit before everything works properly for this video being posted on LinkedIn. So today's weather is actually dry and I can see the other side of the valley because we've been having fog again. But you can really feel that the days are lengthening now, can't you? And it just makes everything feel just a little bit easier. And to get a sunny day, then so much more seems possible. It's really interesting, the psychological impact of sunshine, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. Happy Valentine's Day, first of all. I know it's an awkward day for a lot of people, but hey, it's still a Saint's Day. Therefore, we should celebrate it. Mind you, there are Saints' Days for pretty much every day of the year, aren't there? However, leaving that on one side, I have, from the UK, a really, really fascinating podcast. Now, I don't know if you're aware of Peter Fisk. He set up Peter Fisk Associates, and he now has a company of his own. I think it's called Green Chemical Design, having sort of walked away from a company that he built, which must be quite a difficult thing to do. And he has been in regulatory affairs for so long. He has seen so many changes. And speaking as another oldie, I found what he had to say very much matched my experience, where there has been a loss of capacity of good people. And then when you get new people in, particularly at the start of REACH, in ECHA, for example, because they didn't really know what they were doing, they were very, very precautionary. And now you've got precaution on precaution, and things are not quite grinding to a halt, but they're not as running as smoothly as they should. So I'm just going to put the link direct to the podcast below this video. And, do it while have it on in the background while you're doing your washing up or your ironing or something like that. The great thing about podcasts is they don't take up your time. I was writing a safety data sheet while I was listening to it. Quite appropriate, really. So that's the first thing for you. Now, the second thing is we've got a lot going on in Europe this week, but I wanted to pick out just one thing that I think is particularly interesting. And that's, we've had all the brouhaha over the storm break for CLP, and then it hasn't been applied. Well, the EU have now brought out their packaging and waste packaging regulation, but there's also been a derogation from some of the waste packaging. And I don't know whether this has been done and they were always going to do it, or whether it's to do with the fact that we had the storm break being raised and then cancelled. So I'm just going to put a link below this video for the this derogation. It's one of these things that you have to read the waste packaging regulation and this derogation on either side. But if you're in Northern Ireland, I hope it's useful. Now, the other things that are quite important going on in the EU is we've had a judicial opinion on titanium dioxide, and we're currently waiting on the actual formal decision, but that will annul the appeal that was created saying, sorry, I'm a bit full of cold again this morning. What it'll do is it'll annul the decision. So the appeal by France et al. Has passed. But having said that, there are other grounds that were not brought forward. So I think titanium dioxide is going to run and run. I'll talk about that another week. The other thing is the SVHC proposal of formaldehyde to go onto the candidate list, which came out late January, that's been pulled. So over the course of a month, it's been pushed in and back. And at the time I said in the main newsletter, I said something like, it's already heavily regulated. What would SVHC do over and above that? But hey, the minds of the regulators, who knows? So if you want to read more about that kind of thing, and a really nice Valentine's Day recipe, I'm just going to put a link to our newsletter below this video now, because obviously this is a short video. I can only give you a few highlights from the full newsletter itself. Excuse me. So you'll be thinking, get on with it, woman. What have we got for our funny video? And the reason to be cheerful this week is a very traditional Scottish one. We're still on our gentle Christmas, or not so gentle Christian humour. It's the Reverend I Am Jolly. Now, Scotch and Rye was like Rikki Fulton was a Scottish comedian, and Scotch and Rye was an institution on New Year. Everybody watched. I think like half the population of Scotland at one time used to watch it. This is Rikki Fulton as the Reverend I Am Jolly. So I hope you enjoy that as much as us older Scots do. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Thanks so much for watching, either live or on catch up. Have a great weekend. Have a great Valentine's Day, whatever you're doing. And if you don't have a loved one that you're with, a partner, remember, it's not just Valentine's Day is not just about romantic love. It is about the love we have for our family as well, and our friends. And nobody need feel left out about that. So have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend, and I hope to be able to be spared to chat to you again next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.